Hello and welcome to Lesson 8 of National 5 Computing Science Database Design and Development. Today we're looking at implementation. We're going to take a look at SQL operations. We're going to do the select query. But first, let's talk about what SQL is. It stands for Structured Query Language. So it's a way of creating queries in a database system by typing the code. You might be wondering, what is a query? Let's take a look at the database. In a database system, you have data. You can query this data. You're asking questions of the data. You want to get results. You want to get answers. In Microsoft Access, you can do that by clicking on any of the filters here. For example, if I wanted to find all of the Chihuahuas, I could click on this arrow here, unselect all these breeds, scroll down to Chihuahua, click it, and click OK. So here are all the Chihuahuas. This is one example of, this is kind of like a query. But it's not really a query. If I had to perform this operation every single day or multiple times a day, I'd get bored of clicking these buttons and, it's not a huge hardship, but if this was a complicated question I was asking of the database, it would get a bit repetitive and a bit mundane, and I would get very quickly bored and would be pulling my hair out. This is where saved queries come in. To create a query in Microsoft Access, you need to click on Create in the top ribbon and choose Query Design. Some versions of Microsoft Access will pop up with a window that you have to close. In this case, the version that I'm using doesn't. It's got the tables on the right-hand side. But sometimes it pops up with Add Tables, cross it off, and we need to create SQL. What we see here is the Query Designer, and we're not allowed to use the Microsoft Access Query Designer in our tests, in our courseworks. We have to use SQL. So you can do that by going up to the top left corner, or you can go in the bottom right corner and choose SQL away down here. But either way is fine. So click View or just choose SQL from the menu here. This is SQL, Structured Query Language. You'll see that we have the word select. This does nothing on its own. But if I remove that semicolon and press space, I can tell this query what to select from the database. So I'm going to select everything. The asterisk means select everything. Then I have to say from which tables I'm selecting this everything from. So I want to select everything from dog. So select all from dog. And when I run this query, you'll think, what is the point of that? This is just the dog table. We've got the dog table here, and we've got the query that selects everything from the dog table. That's a little bit pointless. But if I select this query and go back to SQL view by clicking on the arrow here, SQL view, maybe I don't want to select everything. Maybe I only want the name and the breed. So let's do that. So instead of the asterisk, I would type the field name. So I've got the name, comma, breed. I separate them by commas. Now it does say dog underscore name, so this wouldn't work. If I run this and choose datasheet view, it pops up with this error message. Well, it's not an error message, but it thinks that name is a variable and we need to give it a value. We don't want that. We want to say dog underscore name. Now it'll work. It's showing us the dog names. It's showing us the breeds. Now, again, this isn't very helpful. Maybe I only want to see the names of dogs that are Chihuahuas. This is a much better example of something I might want to do. So in this case, I would go to SQL view. I would still select the dog name. I'll keep the dog breed for now, but I would also add a third sort of keyword here called where. This is where we customize what type of results it shows us. So I would say where breed equals, and then type the name of the breed that I want to find. So I only want to find the dog name and the breed from the dog table where the breed is equal to Chihuahua. Now, if I run this, we can see all the dogs who have the breed Chihuahua. Now, you might be thinking, I would never want to see the breed. That's fine. We don't need to see the breed. We can get rid of that. Even though we're making sure that the breed is equal to Chihuahua, we don't need to select the breed. Select is everything that will appear in the query, in the results. So here we've only selected dog name, so it's only showing us dog name. Now that is a very, very quick introduction to SQL and queries in Microsoft Access. But next we're going to build it up. We're going to do more selects, and we'll do some from multiple tables as well. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.